into what is quickly becoming the biggest scandal in American history. The corruption, malfeasance, and desecration of constitutional civil liberties is now unmatched in the history of this country. Now, there are a lot of key players, a lot of moving parts. So tonight, we are going to name names. We will identify the key players. We will fully explain what has happened and expose the 2016 election saboteurs. Now, this is something the mainstream media will never do. And also tonight, breaking this hour, Ed Henry exclusively reporting that text messages now show that Senator Mark Warner was in communication with a lobbyist working for a Russian oligarch, all in an effort to set up a meeting with fake news dossier author Christopher Steele. But first, tonight, our very important breaking news opening monologue. All right, so we're going to go slow. What we have been reporting on night after night for over a year now is turning into a scandal bigger than Watergate, and here's why this is all so alarming. All the information we have been telling you about so far is only a sample of what's to come. It's the tip of the iceberg. Now, these facts, this evidence will rock the foundation of Washington, D.C. It will make you question, how is it possible this could ever happen in the United States of America? It's that serious. And it's why we have been pushing so hard on this program for answers. Now, meanwhile, you have the liberal mainstream media. They're supposed to be all about truth, all about transparency. They have been missing in action. They have turned their backs. They are ignoring the biggest story in their lifetimes. Their sole focus has been on delegitimizing and destroying President Trump at every single turn. Now, that's why for over a year, they have been peddling hour after hour fake news conspiracy theories about so-called Trump-Russia collusion. They have nothing to base it on, no evidence whatsoever. And here's what they don't want you to know about the key officials that are involved in this scandal. Let's start with player number one. That, of course, would be Hillary Clinton. Now, remember Donna Brazile in her book? She talked about Hillary rigging the primary against Bernie Sanders. Imagine if that was Donald Trump. Then Clinton tried to build on that idea. She was teaming up with the DNC. They worked through a law firm. They paid over $12 million for that salacious dossier that was filled with Russian lies, Russian propaganda. Why? Because they wanted to influence the general election through lies. Clinton also tried to keep this a secret. She went through a law firm, Perkins Coie, which then hired Glenn Simpson and Fusion GPS, and they paid former British spy, Russian expert Christopher Steele. Now, according to Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett, who's been doing a deep dive into all of this, two crimes may have been committed in this instance. 52 U.S. Code 30121, which says it is illegal to make a payment, donation, or trade anything of value with a foreign national in connection with any kind of election in America. Now, remember, Steele's a former British spy. He was only hired by Fusion GPS once Hillary Clinton started picking up the tab for the Trump opposition research, not before. Greg also points out 52 U.S.C. 30101. It makes it a crime to file a false or misleading campaign report. Now, a watchdog group, the Campaign Legal Center, they've actually filed a complaint with the Federal Election Commission accusing the Clinton campaign and the DNC of violating campaign finance laws and for failing to disclose payments they made for this dossier. All right, next up is disgrace. Former FBI Director James Comey. Now, he, along with corrupt FBI agent, remember, Peter Strzok, and other top deputies, not rank and file, they put the fix in to save Hillary Clinton from prosecution when we know she committed multiple felonies as it relates to the email server scandal. Now, Comey and his lackeys, they ignored incontrovertible evidence about Clinton breaking the law, having secret, top secret, special access programming, classified information stored in that mom and pop shop bathroom closet. Remember, on the server. They also failed to act after Clinton's team deleted 33,000 subpoenaed emails. Then they acid wash using bleach bit on the hard drives. And then any devices they had left over, they busted those up with a hammer. And by the way, the mobile devices they eventually turned over to the FBI, they were useless. They had no SIM cards in them. Now, despite all of this, Comey, Strzok, and others, they crafted an exoneration statement months before ever interviewing Hillary Clinton and 17 other key witnesses in the case. By the way, that's not how law enforcement works. And in that exoneration statement, when describing Clinton's mishandling of classified information, Comey changed the words, the legal standard, gross negligence, which is the legal standard, to extreme carelessness. And they also altered a section that said it was reasonably likely that hostile foreign actors and adversaries of the United States had hacked the server. And they completely removed information about Hillary Clinton emailing President Obama, which means that Obama knew Hillary was breaking the law, or should have known. Now, all of this allowed Hillary Clinton to stay in the presidential race, which obviously they wanted. And then she used the Russian propaganda dossier. Why? To lie to the American people. Nobody had verified what was in that dossier, not even Glenn Simpson of Fusion GPS. Now, again, going back to Greg Jarrett, according to him, if Comey exonerated Hillary Clinton for political purposes, well, that means he obstructed justice. He should have been seeking the truth. And that's only the start of Comey's involvement in this scandal. And according to the House Intel Committee in their memo, Comey signed off personally on 3 FISA applications to spy on the Trump campaign. And his FBI lied to the FISA court about the dossier being bought and paid for by Hillary Clinton and the DNC. Oh, excuse me. They did have a footnote. It may have some political origins, but they knew Hillary and the DNC paid for it. And Comey's FBI. Then they also used that Yahoo News article written by Michael Isikoff about Carter Page. They were corroborating the dossier. Well, here's the problem. They knew the source for the Yahoo story was Christopher Steele. And the FBI never independently verified the information, nor did Fusion GPS, because Steele was their only source. And by the way, from there, it only gets worse. According to the Grassley-Graham memo, the bulk, let me repeat, the bulk of their application to the FISA court, the FBI put before a judge, consisted, the bulk of it, the phony dossier, the Hillary Clinton phony dossier. Now, in March of 2017, Comey told Congress he didn't bother collaborating or corroborating the dossier because the FBI thought Christopher Steele was credible. Really? No, you don't have to corroborate these things? And Comey also testified under oath that the same dossier that he used to get the FISA warrant was salacious and unverified. And Comey also told then President-elect the same thing in January 2016, but it was only just a couple of months earlier the dossier was used to get a warrant. Did he tell the FISA judge it's unverified? Did he tell the FISA judge any of this information? No, he did not. Okay, that is guilt by omission. Purposely omitting information that likely would have had a big impact on that judge. All right, player number 3 tonight, former Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe. Now, the GOP House memo, that details how McCabe testified without the dossier, the FISA warrant to surveil would never have been approved. And McCabe is also tied to the Clinton email cover-up. Remember the recent reports? Andrew McCabe, he was forced to resign over revelations in a soon-to-be-released DOJ Inspector General report. And we're told all about the Clinton email investigation. And the Wall Street Journal is reporting that McCabe and other top FBI officials, remember, they also knew about Uma Abedin's emails that were found on Anthony Weiner's laptop. They knew about them in September of 2016. Important information. But they waited at least a month before they told Congress. And we can't forget McCabe's wife. She got $700,000, an astronomical amount of money, for a failed Senate run in the Commonwealth of Virginia from a group tied to Clinton ally Terry McAuliffe and from the Virginia Democratic Party. Now, McCabe eventually had to recuse himself from the Clinton email investigation. Was it because he got caught or because he thought it was the right thing to do? He got 2 key allies of Andrew McCabe. Now, they're corrupt, and they're the Trump-bashing FBI lovers, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. Now, they're players number 4 and 5. Page actually served as the legal counsel to McCabe. And as for Strzok, like we've been telling you, he's at the epicenter of the scandal, every issue that we've been talking about the last year and a half. Now, Strzok is a former top FBI counterintelligence official. He's the one that signed the documents that kicked off this phony Russia probe. He also oversaw the interviews of Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. He was the guy that interviewed Hillary Clinton and her top aides. And we've already told you how Strzok played a key role in changing the Clinton exoneration statement. Remember, they were changing gross negligence, extreme carelessness. Then there's Strzok and Page's extreme hatred of Donald Trump. Remember in text messages, they called him an idiot, a menace, a loathsome human being. They said if Trump and Clinton wanted to win 100 million to 0, and Strzok and Page also talk with, who we now think is Andrew McCabe, about that insurance policy, oh, God forbid Donald Trump wins the election. And yesterday, we got a new batch of text messages that show their inherent anti-Trump bias. In the lead up, of course, to the election, Lisa Page was fearful. Oh, my gosh, Donald Trump is going to win. On Election Day, Strzok writes back, oh, my God, this is blanking terrifying. And the following day, he says, oh, my God, I'm so depressed. And a couple of days later, Lisa Page writes, well, I bought all the president's men. I figure I needed to brush up on Watergate, the insurance people. Then later, Page sends a message that reads, God, being here makes me angry. Lots of highfalutin national security talk. And meanwhile, we have our task ahead of us. Wonder if that's tied to the insurance policy. What does Page mean by task? When you put all of this together with the insurance policy text, it raises serious, serious red flags. Now, these lovebirds also message back and forth about special counsel Robert Mueller. Remember, they had 5 months of missing text? Well, right after Robert Mueller was appointed on May 19, 2 days after the appointment, Strzok was debating about joining the investigation. And Strzok asked his lover Page, an investigation leading to impeachment? So even before Mueller's probe, even before it got started, Strzok and Page were talking about impeaching President Trump. Now, this part is very important. During the same back and forth, Strzok texts, well, you and I both know the odds are nothing. If I thought it was likely, I'd be there, no question, meeting with Mueller. I hesitate in part because of my gut sense and concern. There's no big there. Pretty stunning admission. Now, Strzok helped start the Russia investigation, but he thought there was no there. Also, directly wrapped up in all of this is the demoted DOJ official Bruce Orr and his wife Nellie. They're players 6 and 7 in this game, if you want to call it a game of corruption. Bruce Orr, he was reprimanded at the DOJ after it was discovered he was meeting with Fusion GPS both before and after the election. And Orr's office, remember, just 4 doors down from Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. His wife, Nellie Orr, she worked at Fusion GPS. And by the way, her job? Focusing in on the anti-Trump opposition research dossier. And according to the Nunes memo, Bruce Orr told investigators that he had a close relationship with the dossier author, Christopher Steele. And Bruce Orr said that Steele said he was desperate that Donald Trump not get elected and was passionate about him not being president. Pretty amazing. He couldn't write this in a novel. Now we turn our attention to the former Attorney General, Loretta Lynch. She's player number 8 in all of this. And according to testimony from former FBI Director James Comey, Lynch instructed the FBI to refer to their criminal investigation into Hillary Clinton as a matter. Don't call it an investigation. Don't call it what it really is. And then it got worse. In June of 2016, while the FBI's so-called independent investigation is ongoing, Bill Clinton is meeting with Loretta Lynch in Phoenix on a tarmac for 40 minutes. And Lynch said the meeting was about grandchildren and golf. But this is on July 1st. Now, the former AG announced that she was stepping away from the investigation after this, and she'd just accept the FBI's conclusion. Now, keep in mind, this all took place before Hillary Clinton was interviewed on the 4th of July weekend by the FBI, and then exonerated the next business day. And after Lynch announced that she was taking a back seat to the Clinton investigation, Strzok literally texts Page and says, timing looks like hell. Page replies, yeah, it's awful timing, and then adds, oh, it's a real profile in courage, talking about Lynch, since she knows no charges will be brought. Now, 4 days later, Comey holds his press conference where he infamously announces the FBI is not recommending charges against Clinton, after 13.5 minutes of laying out a pretty damning case against Hillary. The Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, he's also a player in all of this ongoing FISA scandal. We'll call him player number 9 tonight. Now, first and foremost, Rosenstein, he oversees the entire Russian investigation, and he was the official responsible for appointing Robert Mueller as a special counsel. We'll have more on Mueller in a minute. But first, we know that it was Rosenstein who signed off on one of the applications to extend the FISA warrant against the Trump campaign. And then you have President Obama. Oh, yeah, what about him? We'll call him player number 10 tonight. If Russia interfering in our election was so troubling, why didn't the Obama administration say something prior to the election? We now have an NBC News report. The Obama White House wasn't too worried about it because, quote, they thought that Hillary was going to win. Well, what does that tell you? If Hillary wins, it's okay? And then the cherry on top is Robert Mueller. We'll call him player number 11 tonight. Now, the special counsel heading up the Russia investigation, we know that Mueller hired an extremely, I mean extremely partisan team filled with individuals who had given over 50 grand, but only to Democrats. No money to Donald Trump. We know they gave money to, let's see, Obama and Clinton and the DNC. We also know Mueller is best friends, BFF, with James Comey. We know that he interviewed with Trump to be the next FBI director, and the day before he was appointed special counsel is when that interview took place. So it's all very suspicious. And those are just the main key players in all of this. It gets complicated, but I want to make sure everybody's understanding this, because as we move forward, I would guarantee almost at this point there's going to be massive investigations, and I would not at all be surprised people will be going to jail. People will be indicted. Joining us now, author, attorney David Limbaugh, Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett, former chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz. Thank you, Greg, for all your help in all of this with the law. Let's go through these players and what we're talking about here.
Well, with Hillary Clinton, I counted up 16 potential crimes, but then you have to factor in 110 classified documents, so you can do the multiplication. You need a calculator for that. James Comey, potentially, he committed 8 different crimes. We need to dig out the evidence. He needs to be put under oath. He needs to be investigated. He's got his book coming out, and I read recently.
I'm sure it'll be an MSNBC conspiracy theorist any day now.
That'll be an interesting read. You'll find it under the fiction category.
Yeah.
And then you've got all kinds of people, as you pointed out, it looks like the fix was in, and they did it for political reasons to clear Hillary Clinton. That's obstruction of justice and other crimes.
I shouldn't even call you a congressman because you're a recovering politician.
Yes, thank you.
We always love having you on Fox.
Thanks.
From your vantage point, listen, you were involved in a lot of these issues. One of the biggest frustrations that I think people out there have is Republicans get close, fast and furious. We get truth. Nobody ever gets held accountable.
Yeah.
I'm laying out this case as strongly as I can. Have you ever seen anything like it, number one? How bad do you think it is? And do you see enough evidence people should be indicted in this particular case, or at least a special counsel? How would you want them to proceed?
I have never seen something so comprehensive at the senior-most levels. I was the one that actually signed the subpoenas to actually get these documents. I was the one that was trying to extract this information. And this deep state that was there kind of protecting it.
We know Nunes had to wait a year. And then Rod Rosenstein begged Paul Ryan in the final hours.
That is one of the most offensive things I can believe. I can't believe the speaker. I'm glad that Speaker Ryan stood up.
No, he held his ground.
He did. But it's embarrassing that he did that. And, they don't, myself, Trey Gowdy, they don't give us handcuffs. There were plenty of people that came before us that should be in handcuffs. And at least that information should be going to a grand jury. These people are not only obstructing justice, but they are actually political players to manipulate an election and try to take down
what makes it so bad?
Yes. Because you are absolutely attacking the very foundation of our country. Not only when he was a candidate and not have fair fight. And where is Bernie Sanders in all this?
Yeah,
he got manipulated too, and he got manipulated.
He got robbed.
He did.
All right, David. Let's look at Watergate. You got a third-rate burglary. You got cover-up afterwards that leads to one president leaving office, others going to jail in that particular case. As you see these facts unfolding, as you read these memos, and the case of Devin Nunes in the House Intel Committee, this is one of at least 5, and you read the Grassley-Graham memo, what are you thinking about in terms of the law and about the comparisons to Watergate?
Well, one thing that strikes me, Sean, is that during Watergate, you had certain key players in the Republican Party, Nixon and others, who thought they could do things. And they had low-level operatives tasking out these things. Now what we have today is an entire radicalized Democratic leftist party that was in control. Obama was virtually immune from everything he did. He had no accountability. And we had him politicizing literally every agency that he thought was important. The IRS, we know what he did with the IRS, turning it on his political opponents or Lois Lerner, whatever. They're all doing Obama's bidding. And what they did with the FBI and the DOJ, we know since the time of Clinton they've been staffing these agencies, the DOJ, the FBI, with political operatives who care more about advancing the liberal agenda than they do the rule of law. And so we're seeing this, an upside-down situation where now there's an investigation of Donald Trump for something that didn't even occur. And I'm not suggesting, I'm not going to go so far as to suggest
let me ask you,
the
what should happen from here?
Well, I think that what I hope happens is that we have a counter-investigation, that someone either appoints a special counsel or that the DOJ starts to investigate what was going on during the Obama reign, because they were protecting Hillary. They tried to influence an election. It's always the left always projects, as Devin Nunes says. What they accuse you of, they were doing. They tried to affect the outcome of the election, and it is very corrupt all the way through what they were doing.
And they thought they knew better. They helped Hillary stay in the game. They covered up, and then they advanced all this phony crap to the American people and then used it as a FISA warrant. What should happen? We've got 30 seconds each for you guys. How should we proceed, Greg?
Got to be a second special counsel to investigate the investigators. They cleared Hillary Clinton when they knew she had likely committed crimes, and then
there's no doubt she committed crimes.
Conjured up a phony investigation without any evidence, without any indication of a crime being committed, to frame Donald Trump for something he did not do. You have to have a second special counsel.
I think within the next 60 days, you're going to see the Inspector General, who's been looking at this for a year. They've been quiet.
You trust him?
I do trust him. He sat with myself and Trey Gowdy. Trey and I both believe wholeheartedly in Michael Horowitz. 450 employees. I also think you're going to need to get rid of the Attorney General. He can't do his job. He's recused out of the most important thing that he's supposed to be doing.
We wouldn't have been here if he didn't recuse.
Yeah.
All right, thank you all. We appreciate it. All right, we have more breaking news tonight. Ed Henry, an exclusive report about a top Democrat's communication with a lobbyist for a Russian oligarch, and the latest on Uranium One. Straight ahead.
This is a last chance alert. It's happening. In just days, Publishers Clearinghouse will definitely award the $5,000 a week forever prize. Win, and you get $5,000 a week for your life. Then after that, someone you choose gets $5,000 a week for their life. This prize must be awarded on February 23rd, so don't miss your final chance to win. Enter by mail or at pch.com before it's too late. Hurry, February 23rd, you could win $5,000 a week forever. Don't miss out.
Soft, softer, and the world's softest ever. Introducing the world's softest pajamas from Pajamagram this Valentine's Day. What makes these pajamas the world's softest? The fleece lining is carefully brushed, which makes it both soft and warm, while the knit on the outside is silky smooth. She'll love the way the world's softest pajamas look and feel, and so will you. You can order these pajamas now in time for Valentine's Day, and every package comes already wrapped, so you don't have to do another thing. And when she's happy, you're happy too. So go ahead and spoil her. Guys, give your Valentine the gift that keeps on giving. Softness, comfort, and relaxation. Call or go online now at Pajamagram.com to order the world's softest pajamas today. Every order comes with free gift packaging and a personalized gift card. Delivery is guaranteed by Valentine's Day, so order now at Pajamagram.com.
Patients frequently come to me with a pretty personal question. Is there any way to truly eliminate embarrassing bad breath and prevent it from returning? That's when I tell them about Smart Mouth. Beating bad breath means neutralizing the real source of bad breath, sulfur gas. Activated Smart Mouth eliminates existing sulfur gas and blocks the production of new sulfur gas. No sulfur gas, no bad breath.
Smart Mouth. Never have bad breath.
Hi babes, you know how bras are super expensive and the department store lady is always really pushy?
I just found the cutest lingerie website ever. It's called Adore Me.
Check out this lace.
They have tons of bras,
PJs, underwear, all from petite to plus. I know your phone's out, so look them up.
You can get your first bra and panty set for $25.
I'm obsessed. You love it too, right babe?
Valentine's Day special. Your first set starts at just $14.95 with VIP membership at adoreme.com.
Since everything's included at Beaches and Grill in Jamaica, you can do all the things you love with the ones you love. Because the best thing you can give your family on vacation is you.
Right, my generation. Yeah, all about a good time. Yeah, all about a good life. You won't believe it till you see. This is gonna be a fun ride. Yeah, all about
Beaches All-Inclusive Resorts, where you can feel like family again. Call 1-800-BEACHES and save up to 65%.
Corey Lewandowski speaks out. He's had enough of the Democrats' accusations. Now, get his reaction to all the big battles brewing in D.C. on the next Fox News at Night.
You already have the best in TV with Spectrum, so when it comes to adding internet and voice services for your home, you need all the facts.
Myth. All internet and voice providers are the same.
Fact. Spectrum delivers faster internet and more reliable voice for less.
Myth. With internet, there's always a catch.
Spectrum has the fastest internet starting speeds for the price. 100 megabits with no modem fees or data caps for $29.99 a month. Call 844-574-1999.
Myth. Cell phones can do everything home phones can do.
With Spectrum Voice, you get more reliable coverage with features you don't have to pay extra for. Plus, get unlimited calling in the U.S., Mexico, Puerto Rico, and more for $19.99 a month. Call 844-574-1999. The fact is, Spectrum gives you the best services at the best value. Add Spectrum Internet for $29.99 a month and Spectrum Voice for $19.99 a month with no contracts. Call 844-574-1999.
Our own Ed Henry is out with an explosive new report about high-ranking Democrat Senator Mark Warner and his contact with a lobbyist for a Russian oligarch. The White House Chief of Staff, also John Kelly, tonight sent an email to the administration employees about the resignation of Rob Porter. From Washington with all this breaking news, we have our own Ed Henry. Ed.
Yeah, Sean, you're right. Quickly on the Kelly story, he just put out a letter, I'm told, to White House employees saying, look, the HR department will deal with any counseling issues. This was a horrific incident with Rob Porter leaving as staff secretary after allegations of domestic abuse. That story is still breaking. Meanwhile, you mentioned Mark Warner. He has been leading one of the probes of President Trump's ties to Russia. It turns out he had extensive contact himself with a lobbyist for a Russian oligarch who offered him access, yes, to Christopher Steele. Warner texted he would, quote, rather not have a paper trail in case he could not seal an agreement with the former British spy. Steele has not agreed to an interview with the panel. He began texting with this lobbyist, Warner did, Adam Waldman, in February 2017 about getting testimony as well from Russian billionaire Oleg Deripaska, who had his visa revoked by the State Department in 2006 because of charges he has ties to organized crime in Russia. Warner wanted to connect directly with Steele, though, without anyone else being in the loop, at least initially. Quote, we have so much to discuss. You need to be careful, Warner texted, but we can help our country. Waldman texted back early last year, I'm in. Waldman, we should note, runs a firm here in Washington which has ties to Hillary Clinton. Waldman noted that Steele was concerned about media leaks, so Warner texted back, quote, we want to do this right, private in London, don't want to send a letter yet, because if we can't get agreement, would rather not have paper trail. That's from Mark Warner. Now, the Intelligence Committee got these texts from Waldman last September, I'm told, and a Warner aide acknowledged Warner and Richard Burr, the Republican chairman, revealed these texts to their colleagues back then in October because, quote, they realized out of context it doesn't look great. But Warner and Burr gave me an official statement pushing back on this, and they say, quote, from the beginning of our investigation, we have taken each step in a bipartisan way, and we intend to continue to do so. Leaks of incomplete information out of context by anyone, inside or outside our committee, are unacceptable. They add, the full committee has had access to the material and been briefed on its content, and committee investigators have pursued all relevant investigative leads related to this material. Waldman, by the way, did not return calls seeking comment. He signed a $40,000 monthly retainer in 2009 and 2010 on behalf of that Russian billionaire. There were reports that Deripaska, who sued Paul Manafort over a failed business deal, has information to share, but so far he has not gotten legal immunity, so he hasn't talked to the Senate Intel Committee. But, Sean, the bottom line is you have had Warner and other Democrats scrutinizing the president's ties to Russians. Now, obviously, these text messages coming out tonight.
All right, unbelievable. We'll continue to follow this story. Thank you, Ed Henry. Also, big news tonight on Uranium One. We're learning that the FBI informant at the center of this scandal, in fact, told congressional committees that Russia paid millions to the U.S. lobbying firm APCO worldwide in a bid to influence then-Secretary of State Hillary Clinton by helping Bill Clinton's charities. In a statement obtained by Fox News, the informant says that Russian nuclear officials told him at various times, quote, they expected APCO to apply a portion of the $3 million annual lobbying fee it was receiving from the Russians to provide in-kind support for the Clintons' global initiative. and APCO was expected to give assistance free of charge to the Clinton Global Initiative as part of their effort to create a favorable environment to ensure the Obama administration made affirmative decisions on everything from Uranium One to the U.S.-Russian Civilian Nuclear Cooperation Agreement. We did reach out to APCO for comment. They told us, in part, the allegations are false and unfounded. APCO also told us that its volunteer work for the Clinton Global Initiative and its engagement with the Russian firm Tenex are absolutely not connected. And last night, a Clinton spokesman called the FBI informant a charade. Joining us now with reaction, Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz, Fox News contributor Sarah Carter. We welcome back John Solomon from the Hill. John, let's start with you. A lot was said about Hillary and all this. Give you a chance to lay this out.
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing is we now have a really complete timeline of what the FBI knew when. And we now know that before the Obama administration made the following decisions: restarted the U.S. Nuclear Cooperation Agreement with Russia, approved the Uranium One deal, and then gave clearance so that many utilities in the United States could buy Russian uranium. They knew the following things, at least through the FBI. They knew this. One, that Russia was assisting Iran and their illicit nuclear program. Two, that the APCO, the lobbying firm, at least the Russians were claiming they were paying money to them in an effort to bid to help Hillary Clinton. And three, the very Russian arm, Rosatom's arm in the United States that was sent here to build this uranium business, was engaged in bribery, kickbacks, racketeering, and extortion. If you have all that information, it does raise a great public policy question. Why did the Obama administration, the Hillary Clinton State Department, the other departments, why did they approve these deals?
Unbelievable. There was never any sense to that. Sarah, I see you shaking your head. Both you and John have been at the forefront of all of this. You both know the informant.
Yes, and these are thousands of documents, Sean, saved from the time he was working with the FBI as an undercover informant. And I stress again, he spent nearly 3 decades working with U.S. intelligence agencies. That includes the FBI on many issues, a number of issues. And I want to go back to one point. In April 2010 is when he informed the FBI of what he found out regarding Russia and Iran. They were aiding Iran with their fabricated assemblies for their nuclear reactors, with consultation and with fuel. So the Obama administration actually knew that this was going on. There was documented proof, there were recordings, but yet in October 2010, they still went through with the deal. The CFIUS approved the deal for the sale of the Canadian firm Uranium One, which had 20% of our uranium mining assets in the United States, in Wyoming in particular. So we have to ask ourselves these questions and say, if there is an investigation, it's going to be up to those investigators at the Department of Justice and others, to look at the money trail.
Unbelievable. And we're going to learn a lot more about that. Both you and John agree. I see you both shaking your head. Congressman Gaetz, we don't have enough uranium, Congressman? The idea that FBI director at the time, Mueller, knew, because we had the informant, about bribery, extortion, kickbacks, money laundering, and this is nearly 18 months before CFIUS signs off on the Uranium One deal, knowing Vladimir Putin wanted a foothold in our industry. It's mind-numbing that this could have ever happened.
Well, and it seems to indicate, Sean, that you would have to have some type of improper influence to end up with these facts. The real question is whether or not there's going to be any consequences, because the Clintons, for decades, are used to having a different standard of justice applied to them than is applied to the rest of the American people. That's why I filed legislation with countless other conservative colleagues like Mark Meadows and Jim Jordan and Todd Rokita, calling for a second special counsel to look into the Clinton Foundation and Uranium One, because, I mean, we can't have Mueller investigate. He should have raised an objection. We can't have Rosenstein investigate because we've already seen the extent to which he's tied up in a lot of these facts, and Jeff Sessions has recused himself. So the only way this doesn't become the next Benghazi, where we stir up a bunch of facts but then let the Clintons off the hook, is to appoint a special counsel, and we need our Attorney General to do that immediately.
Separate and apart from the special counsel investigating the investigators, we have so much to get to, so little time. John and Sarah in particular, I want to ask you, will we hear from the informant you both know? John.
That's a great question. I mean, this interview was a non-transcribed interview with staff, not members of Congress, and I would expect that both staffs will meet, decide what he told them, and decide whether they want to have a public hearing. I think that's the next step.
Will we hear from him?
Yes, I believe we will, and I think it's vitally important for him to speak publicly. I know that he wants to, but he wants to follow the proper process, and that's with his attorney, Victoria Tonsing, and she will, I think, make it affordable for the American people to see him.
Unbelievable work. We'll continue to peel away the layers of the onion here. You guys have done phenomenal work over the last year. We thank you for finding truth. When we come back, I think having a military parade is a great idea, and I have reasons why. Dr. Gorka, Darryl Parks are next, straight ahead.
Friends, colleagues, gathered here are the world's finest insurance experts. Rodney, mastermind of discounts like Safe Driver, Paperless, the list goes on.
How about a discount for long lists?
Gold. Mara, you save our customers hundreds for switching almost effortlessly. It's a gift. And Jamie.
Present.
Together, we are unstoppable. So, what are we gonna do? Insurance. That's kind of what we do here.
Nick was born to move. Not necessarily after 3 toddlers with boundless energy. But lower back pain won't stop him from keeping up. Because at a Dr. Scholl's kiosk, he got a recommendation for our best custom-fit orthotic to relieve his foot, knee, or lower back pain from being on his feet by reducing shock and stress on his body with every step. So look out, world. Dad's taking charge. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
I had like memory foams, I had feather pillows, and I'd always wake up with neck pain. After sleeping on my pillow, I didn't wake up with the headaches, I was more aligned.
I didn't realize the connection between the pillow and sleep. When I switched to my pillow, I got a better night's sleep, and I love it.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs, and it holds that support all night long to take the pressure off your shoulders and keep your neck aligned so you get the best night's sleep of your life.
And how about this? MyPillow is machine washable and dryable and comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and an amazing 10-year warranty. Plus, every MyPillow is made in the USA.
I personally guarantee that MyPillow will be the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own.
Call now or go to MyPillow.com. Use this promo code to save over 50% on a MyPillow 4-pack with 2 premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. Order now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Got a stinky sink? Stop drain odors, backups, and clogs with the cleansing and deodorizing power of Sandy Sticks. Now with a new lemon fresh scent. Drop in one and you're done. Just one Sandy Stick a month dissolves over time, flushing foul odors with a powerful blend of concentrated enzymes and lemon oil that break down and eliminate food, grease, and grime buildup, keeping your pipes clean and odor-free and your home smelling lemon fresh. Stop embarrassing drain odors and get Sandy Sticks now in lemon fresh, original unscented, and other great scents. Now available at most retailers.
Exercise doesn't have to be boring. Hi, I'm Lori Grenier from Shark Tank. In less than a year, the Simply Fit board has become one of America's favorite ways to exercise, with over 3 million people getting Simply Fit. Why? Because it's fun. And because it works. People everywhere are twisting away calories while they watch TV and listen to music. The Simply Fit board gets 4- and 5-star reviews everywhere. So jump on board and get fit. One twist at a time. Get your Simply Fit board today.
Your call is now first in line and will be answered by the next available representative. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for holding. How may I assist you?
Hi, yes. We were just broken into, and we need a home security system.
Oh, sorry. Wrong department. Please hold.
The best home security isn't hard to get. With Simply Safe, you can get comprehensive, professionally monitored home security online without the hold time or runaround. Each Simply Safe system is a thoughtfully assembled security arsenal. From entry and motion sensors to a high-definition security camera, you'll have everything you need to keep your family safe. CNET called it Comprehensive, Easy-to-Use Protection, naming it Editor's Choice for home security. Order today and get free shipping. You'll feel safe at home or your money back. Go to livesimplysafe.com now.
Shocking. The mainstream media's found yet another reason to bash the president. This time, they are freaking out over a proposed military parade being organized by the president and the Pentagon. Why? To honor all of those brave men and women that serve our country and protect our freedoms. Take a look at some of the hysterical media anti-parade coverage from just the past 24 hours. It's unbelievable.
That's right. Trump wants a military parade. So you're just going full dictator now. Just wasn't enough.
I guess he wants his toy soldiers to march in front of him in line in lockstep.
Some said it would put us in the same category as folks like Russia and North Korean leaders, where they love a military parade.
The idea that we have to look like Red Square it is just absurd.
Maybe the answer, Joe, is to just get Donald Trump a military uniform with epaulets on the shoulders and give him some salad dressing to put on the left lapel and let him march around and pretend to be General Patton.
All right, let's get this right. Journalists, actors, musicians, and others, they all pat themselves on the back. Seems like there's an award show every other day. You know, Pulitzer Prizes, Peabodys, Emmys, Grammys, Golden Globes, oh, the Oscars, and the red carpet, and the list goes on. And we can't honor the military men and women that give us the right to do all of this. Here now with analysis, Fox News national security strategist Dr. Gorka and civil rights attorney Darryl Parks. Darryl, you watch the Oscars, right? You've seen the Golden Globes, MTV Music Awards, iHeartRadio Music Awards. I work for iHeartRadio, just to be transparent. You see all the award shows. Everyone's got an award. They all pat themselves on the, oh, excuse me, what gown are you wearing? Oh, my gosh, what jewelry did you rent for the evening? Oh, where did you get that tux? I can't, the self-congratulatory sanctimonious BS, I've had it up to here and can't even watch these shows. We can't honor our military? Really, Darryl?
Sean, I don't think it's about honoring the military. I think if you really think, you ought to ask the military, what could the president do for them that they would feel honored?
Well, he just got them $85 billion the next 2 years that they didn't have prior to that by negotiating a deal, which I wish didn't give Democrats so much money. But I think there's never been anybody that's been so supportive. He actually lets them do their job without rules of engagement. Let them make the decision on the ground.
But I don't think they want a parade, though. He should ask them what they want.
What's wrong with a parade honoring the military? What's wrong with that?
Well, I think better use of the money than having a parade.
Really?
Would you agree?
To honor our military.
I think
Dr.
so.
Gorka, we might as well include the police, first responders, paramedics, firemen. They should be in the parade, too. We never honor them. They have no award ceremony.
I agree. Look, Sean, there's 3 reasons to have a military parade. 1, if you've got a victory. We've got that over ISIS. I mean, look, there's no caliphate. Number 2, to honor our veterans. It's time we honored them in a way that really raises it to a national level. And thirdly, to scare our enemies, and that's a good thing. Let me tell you a story. When I was in the White House, we had 18 future Green Berets visit the NSC. I suggested to the president that we bring them into the Oval Office to meet the new commander-in-chief. He took time out of his schedule to meet these young men, to recognize their commitment and sacrifice to this country. You know what happened after that meeting with those 18 future Green Berets? The senior warrant officer told me in the last 8 years, they wouldn't even have been allowed in the West Wing, Sean. It's time to recognize our military, and this president wants to do it.
Darryl, how do you respond to that? This president doing things that no president in 8 years did. Do you honor the military? They don't deserve a parade in your book?
No, the president should do is ask
the military doesn't deserve a parade?
Ask the military leaders, what do they want? Ask them,
excuse me,
the
without
leadership,
them, you don't get on this show possibly and speak.
Without question, I think he needs to ask the military leaders, hey, what can I do to assist you, to help you? I think everyone in the military who's hearing us today should tell the president what he can do to help them.
Look, why is a gay pride parade empowering, but we can't do that for our military? It's shameful. These people have been treated like a social experiment for 8 years with all the strange things they were doing to them, transgender this, women in frontline combat duty. Let them do their job and let us recognize them.
Amen. They deserve it, and we do thank them every day, and police, and FBI, and intelligence, rank and file that work hard to protect us every day. Thank you all. We appreciate it more than you know. When we come back, we're taking Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff to task. Also, Dan Bongino, Doug Schoen, Hannity Shootout straight ahead.
It's
It's Golden Corral's Prime Rib and Shrimp Spectacular. Slow roasted prime rib, butterfly shrimp, bone-in catfish, and more. It's time to saddle up. The Prime Rib and Shrimp Spectacular. Just $13.99 every night. Your choice rules.
If my skin was dry, it would look like this. But Gold Bond Men's Lotion has 7 moisturizers and skin strengthening proteins for smoother, healthier looking skin. Man up.
We believe in rock and roll. We believe in blasting it down the fairway, turning up the heat and the fun. At Del Webb, we believe in life well led, in your own beautiful, smartly designed home, in an active adult community with sushi eaters, artists, thrill seekers, and you. We believe you'll like it here.
My cardiologist said, I don't want you to come back until you get something done about those teeth. That is the foundation of good heart health.
We're doing amazing transformations, and it's not just a smile. It changes the person's total outlook.
At Clear Choice, we understand that your dental health impacts your total health.
Doing the best for your own personal health is what's important.
Schedule your free consultation today. We'll even talk about financing options. Call Clear Choice today.
Beach's Turks and Caicos was created with everyone in mind. That's why everyone thinks it was created just for them. And it was. Generation Everyone.
Yeah, all about a good time. Yeah, all about a good life. You won't believe it.
Believe it. That's why we've been voted World Best 19 years in a row. Beach's Turks and Caicos, the #1 all-inclusive family resort. Call 1-800-BEACHES.
See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Are Democrats defending Robert Mueller with reckless abandon? Ken Starr weighs in tonight on The Ingram Angle.
Dayton Fireplace Systems is a whole new fireplace buying experience. Find the best-selling national brands like Heat & Glow, Heatilator, and Quadrifire, plus professional installation and service. Visit our showroom at Dayton Fireplace Systems in Centerville.
Guys, she's waiting on a ring, right? You know what I mean. The trouble is you're freaking out about the cost. Well, now at Stadford's, you can get her a gorgeous 1-carat diamond engagement ring for just $99 a month. Do the math. That's like $3.19 a day. So skip the grande cappuccino. Stadford's can get you financed. You can do this.
During Stafford's 1-carat diamond sale, get the woman of your dreams, the diamond of your dreams, for just $99 a month. Visit Stafford Jewelers and see why our little things mean a lot.
Picture this. One of TK's stick-built, handcrafted homes built on the lot of your choice. Customized to fit your family's needs with a completion time met over 97% of the time, with no cost overruns, and with the kind of customer satisfaction that leads to the majority of TK's customers coming from referrals.
And if you don't love your new home, I'll buy it back.
The excitement is building at TK Constructors now.
Indoors or out, now is the time to upgrade your home with savings of 30 to 50% and special financing during Watson's Home Makeover Sale. Get ready for some summer fun with preseason savings on all above-ground pools. 24-foot complete packages are only $19.99 or $59 a month. And we'll install any size pool for only $99. Add some family fun with 8-foot slate pool table for only $16.99. Home bars starting at $6.99 and hundreds of bar stools from $39. All during Watson's Home Makeover Sale.
Dayton Fireplace Systems is a whole new fireplace buying experience. Find best-selling national brands like Heat & Glow, Heatilator, and Quadrifire, plus professional installation and service. Visit our showroom at Dayton Fireplace Systems in Centerville.
It's been a rough week for the wannabe MSNBC contributor, Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff. Now, this week, audio surfaced of Schiff being spoofed last year by a Russian prankster. Well, actually, 2 of them claimed to have dirt on President Trump. He's so excited. Listen to this.
He was in Moscow in November 2013. He met with a journalist and...
Well, she's a poor journalist, but anyway, she became famous because of Putin is her godfather.
Okay, Putin's godfather. Okay.
She also known as a person who provides girls for escort for oligarchs, and she met with Trump and she brought him our Russian girl, celebrity, Olga Buzova, who also known as a person with a strange reputation.
Olga, and how do you spell her name?
Olga Buzova.
And what's the nature of the compromise?
Well, there were pictures of naked Trump.
And so Putin was made aware of the availability of the compromising material?
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much. We will be back in touch with you through our staff to make arrangements to obtain these materials for our committee and for the FBI, and I appreciate you reaching out to us.
We reached out to Schiff's office for a comment. They still have not responded. However, his office did tell The Atlantic that he suspected the call was bogus. Doesn't sound like it. The emails don't show it. Hasn't been a good week for Schiff. He was also accused of putting out classified information in a press release, and we know for sure he hyped what the Republican memo is from the House Intel was. Oh, sources and methods. No sources, no methods. Here was reaction former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino, former Clinton pollster, Fox News contributor Doug Schoen. Isn't this kind of what they accused that meeting at Trump Tower and Donald Trump Jr. about, oh, they were seeking dirt? That sounds like Adam Schiff seeking dirt about a naked Donald Trump.
I think it was a phone call that was a...
No. Series of emails, series of follow-ups.
I'm going on what I've read and what I've heard, but Schiff went to law enforcement. He said it was bogus. So to my way of thinking, it is a Russian trick by skilled provocateurs doing what's called compromise and provocation.
It's sort of like if we read the Graham-Grassley memo, the Grassley-Graham memo, and that says that the bulk of information was Russian government, Russian sources, that they used to get a FISA warrant to spy on an opposition candidate. Does that sound like a Russian scandal to you?
It is a Russian scandal because the
Hillary Russian scandal.
There certainly was one of those. Yeah. There was a Russian scandal to impose themselves in the election. There are lots of Russian scandals.
But there's not a Trump-Russia scandal. That's the point.
I haven't said that, nor has there been proof of that.
There's no proof.
But we still have an investigation that is ongoing. Let's let it finish.
It's been ongoing for a month. We do know Hillary paid for Russian lies and tried to disseminate it to the American people, and then they never told that Hillary Clinton bought and paid for it, Dan Bongino, and then the FISA court wasn't informed.
Yeah, this is amazing, Sean. You know, I say to the working class Democrats out there, and I mean this, how do you put up with these frauds in your party in D.C. like Adam Schiff? You know, he says he thought it was a bogus call. Adam Schiff is a bogus politician. This guy's been a fraudster from the start. Sean, you can always pick the Democrats' scam by whatever they accuse the Republicans of because they're guilty of it themselves. The collusion charge, yeah, that happened between Hillary, Fusion GPS, and the Russians who gave them the information. The obstruction charge, yeah, Hillary destroyed a bunch of BlackBerries, and now we get the seeking information compromise from the Russians. Yeah, it was the Democrats doing it, and Ed Henry broke another story tonight about a Democrat senator trying to get information about Trump, too, from a guy connected to Russia.
A lot of hypocrisy. You saw Ed Henry's report tonight.
I did. Look, there is a lot of hypocrisy, Sean. My attitude is...
Oh, by the way, let me just break some news.
Please.
I had nothing to do with the report. Nothing. Zip.
So I should tell my sources who said you were all over it?
Nothing. No conversation, nothing. But I actually am amused that people assume things about me that are not true. Look, it's amusing.
My feeling is that this matter is a fringe matter. But what requires real investigation, I think, is the FBI, what they did, the whole issue of the email scandal.
But it's not the FBI. This is a few people in the FBI at the highest echelon.
Yeah, that's the FBI.
But it's not. But I don't want to taint good people that protect us and risk their lives every day.
To me, the institution is tainted. The president, who was apparently communicating with Hillary, was tainted. Hillary was clearly involved in the Uranium One.
She was protected.
She was protected. We got to get to the bottom of what happened there. I'm fair-minded. I want an investigation of that. I want the Russian collusion investigation done and completed without politics, without partisanship.
We knew she was guilty of crimes, Dan Bongino, and they allowed it so she could run. And then they never told the FISA court she paid for all these lies.
Yeah, what's amazing is, we have a witness protection program. Hillary was like in the justice protection program. She was insulated from justice everywhere she went at every turn. Sean, we know now conclusively that the information streams in that dossier used to spy on Trump came from two people. They came from Russian, or two groups of people, from Russians interested in interfering in our election, who passed it on to Hillary's team, and from Hillary's team herself, who passed it on. They essentially hijacked the justice system. And as Mark Levin said correctly, they bought a warrant.
They bought a warrant. Are you friends with Sid Blumenthal?
No. I know Sid. I am happy that he is a professional colleague from the past, Sean. The past.
The Hannity Hotline next.
With 16 years in cybersecurity, I can tell you that criminals are scouring the dark web trying to steal your identity and your personal information.
That's why Experian monitors the dark web globally and alerts you to suspicious activity, so you can act before a criminal can. Go to Experian.com/protect now to see if your personal information is on the dark web with a free one-time dark web scan.
Don't let them steal your identity on the dark web. Protect yourself with a company you can trust.
If you're concerned about your heart health,